Well, hi there pluckers, Ivor Sore Fingers again with you. Thanks indeed for joining me for the first of three lessons on Eric Clapton's classic song Tears in Heaven. I'm doing it in standard tuning, no capos, doing it same key as Eric Clapton. Okay. Now then, this is my take on it. It's a slightly simplified version than Eric Clapton's. I think it sounds pretty good, but I've tried to make it as simple as I can. Okay, so this is basically lesson one, and it's purely about the intro, so I'm going to try and keep the lessons relatively short so not to overload anybody. So this is purely about the intro. The intro is also played between the verses, so it's not just the intro. Okay. Then second lesson, when it comes out, will be purely about the verses, and the third lesson that comes out will be about the bridge section. And by mixing and matching those, you will make the whole song up. Okay, so let's get to it. This is the introduction that I'm about to try and show you. Okay. Okay, I played it twice. It normally only played once for the intro. Okay, so there you have it. This is the first lesson on this particular song. Okay, so this song is all about plucking, not strumming or finger picking. Okay, it's plucking. Basically, most of the time I'll be using my thumb and two fingers on the picking hand, so to speak. Okay. So there might be occasions when I might use three fingers on this hand and the thumb, but most of it is two fingers and thumb. Okay, so right, we start off with the iconic little riff. Okay, and it's basically open bottom E string. I'm playing that with my thumb. Okay, if you find other fingers more suitable, easier for you, use them. Just because I use them, you don't have to use what I use. If you find a better way of doing it, use it, or more comfortable. Okay, so thumb, open bottom E string, then hammer up to the second fret on the bottom E string. I'm using my first finger. Okay, then we play the open fifth string open. Okay, fifth string open. So, okay, got that. Fairly easy start. Then what I'm doing is I'm playing it like a lazy A. I'm basically fretting the second fret, first four strings, okay, with the first finger. And what I'm doing then, after you've done the little bit, form the A chord and hit the third string on the second fret with whichever finger comes natural to you. Okay, I tend to use my first finger, but sorry. Okay, got that. Then what we do is we pluck the second string, fretted at the second with the lazy A, and hammer it up to the third fret. I'm using my second finger, and then pull off. Okay, so now you've got this, and you finish this bit off by playing the third string on the second fret again, whichever finger comes natural to you. Okay, so now we've got, okay, slowly. So whichever finger comes natural to you. Okay. Then we go to the first chord, which is it's an E chord, an inversion of an E chord. I am using my first finger to play the fourth fret of the bottom E string. My second finger is playing the fourth fret of the third string, G string, and you can sometimes I'm using my third finger, sometimes I'm using my pinky to play the fifth fret of the second string, the B string. And you fret that and you pluck all three strings together. The bottom E string, the third string and the second string, using your thumb and two fingers. Okay? So far. Okay, once again. Right, now we go to, what we do now is, after plucking all three together, we hit the bass one on its own with the thumb. Same chord, keep the chords, the C chord going. So all three together, thumb on its own, bottom E string. Then you pluck the third string and the second string again, but on their own without the bass note. And then you hit the bass note again on its own. So it's three together, bass, two higher strings, and then the bass again. Okay? So. Okay, got that? So far. Okay, then what I'm doing is I'm going down to a partial F sharp minor chord by moving this first finger down to the second fret of the bottom E string, and my second finger is playing the second fret of the third string, and my third finger is now playing the second fret of the second string. Just those three strings fretted. Okay. And again, it's the same thing. You hit all three, you pluck all three together, bass string on second fret, bottom E, second and third strings on the second fret. You pluck all three together, then you hit the bass note on its own, then the two higher strings on their own, and then the bass note again. So, okay, and there's a lot of this in this song, this sequence of all three, bass note, two higher strings on their own, bass note. Okay, so far. Okay, that's as far as we've got. Then very simply we just remove the first finger off the bottom E string, keeping the other two fingers where they are, and we'll repeat the process. Bottom string open with the thumb, two higher strings with the two other fingers on the right hand, and you pluck them all together. Again, bass note on its own, bottom E string, two higher strings, and then the bottom E string. Same again. So now we've got that. So okay. Then we go we go into what is a partial D chord, or D with F sharp in the bass. And very simply, with these two fingers, all you do is you slide that third finger, which is on the second fret of the second string, the B string, move it up one fret to the third fret. Okay, so you've now got that shape. So it was that, now you've just moved that third finger up one fret to the third fret, and then you put basically you put the first, well, I'm using my first finger back on that second fret of the bottom E string. Alright, so now you've got that shape. Alright, and it's the same idea. You pluck all three strings together, the second fret, or you could use your thumb. Some people will use their thumb there, I expect. So whichever is more comfortable, but we need to fret that second fret on the bottom E string, and then those two on the third and second strings. Okay, again, same idea, pluck all three together, then the bass note, then the two higher strings, and then the bass note. Okay, so now what we've got is this. Once again, very slowly. Then what we do to finish it off is basically we just take this finger off, the first finger comes off the bottom E string, so the bottom E string is now open, and we keep these two where they are. Okay, they stay put. These second and third strings are staying fretted exactly the same way, on the second fret on the third string and the third fret of the B string, second string, and we pluck all three strings together, the open bottom E string with the thumb, and second and third strings as they were. Right, so after the first one, the D one, we go. Now, what we do there is all together, or bass string on its own. Okay, then what we do is we keep that finger on the third fret of the B string where it is, but take that second finger off and replace it with the first finger on the first fret of the third string. And then we pluck all three strings together again, the bottom E string and the second and third strings again, but like this time it's like that. Okay, so all together, then we play the bottom E string on its own. So far what we've got is this. I'll play it very slowly. So that bit is, when you come from that D shape, it's all together, bass note, higher note, bass note, take that finger off, again, all together, bass note, and then move that finger down, first finger goes to the first fret of the third string, all together, bass note. That's as far as we've got. So slowly. Finally, we play the lazy A again. You don't have to play a lazy A, you could play it like that, but I'm playing a lazy A, and I'm playing, but this time the bass note is the root note of the chord, the fifth string open, and you play the fifth string open and the second and third strings, the third string and the second string plucked as usual. So all together, fifth string open, second fret of the third string and the second string, all together. And then the bass note, then the two on its own, then the bass note, then the two on their own. Alright, so and you do that, hang on, let's just see what comes. Right, that's all together, bass note, two together, bass note, bass note. You finish off on those two. Okay, so and then we do the riff again, and we go back into, then the verse starts. Okay, so let's try and do the whole thing slowly. Again. And there you have it. So at normalish speed it would be something like. Okay, got the idea? Well, there you have it. So hopefully that will help you with that, and you'll be good to go. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you hopefully in lesson 2 for the verses. Thanks a lot. Bye.